Hi guys, Creative Fabrica are offering a free trial. Now this is the only thing that I really pay for when it comes to KDP books, if you exclude the AI tools which I mess about with. This free trial is for 10 free items. The first 10 items that you want, you can get for free. After that, you can subscribe if you want to, or just not. Just let it lapse. Take the 10 items, they're yours, and do a runner. I've put the link in the description. The link is an affiliate link. I'll get a small commission every time you sign up to the paid subscription. But don't let that sway you. Now, what can you get for these 10 credits? And the answer is absolutely anything on the website. So there are loads of things to choose from. Fonts, graphics, any of this stuff at the top. They even have a full section on KDP interiors. 186,000 results for KDP interiors. And if you're starting on KDP or you want something to boost your library, then why not try these interiors? You get 11,000 pages in this Mega Kids activity book. How many activity books can you make with that? 3,200 pages there. You get line journals, activity books, word searches, colouring in pages, Valentine's Day activity books. Whatever niche you can think of, you can get it on Creative Fabrica, and you can get 10 for free. Now this is a fine way to start if you want to just add books to your library. You can also edit them in some cases, but what we're going to do is create our own craft paper pad. We're going to use these free elements to create my top selling KDP book. Now because it's Easter, we're going to go for an Easter theme. And yes, you can just download Easter patterns straight from Creative Fabrica. Here they are here. Each download costs you 1 credit. You've got 10 credits. Now, technically, you are supposed to use these digital papers to create a bigger product. This is maybe a small part of a whole thing that you create. But people just take these and upload them straight away. If you want to do that, do it. Do your research first, though. That's a quick and easy way to do it, but it doesn't give you a unique book that's yours. Everyone can download these and do that, whether they're meant to or not. What we're going to do is use Easter clip art to create our own repeating patterns. So there's over 43,000 Easter clip art results. And you can pick any you want. I've got a specific sort of image in mind that I want as style. So here are the ones I'm going to download. The Happy Easter set. This has only got 6 clip arts in there, but that's fine. And this Hello Easter clip art set. I'll link them both in the description. The reason I'm choosing this one is because it's got smaller elements that I can use to fill in some holes. So now I've got the elements, download them, extract them, and we'll go to our publishing software. I'm using Affinity Publisher 2. You use whatever you want to use. So first of all, I'm going to pull the assets that we're going to use into this first title page here. Just want to have a look at them and decide what I want to do. So these are the elements I've decided to use. Those 6 rabbits were from one set. These 3 flowers were part of a much bigger set. Again, they're all linked below in the description. And if you sign up using the big affiliate link, you can get them for absolutely nothing. So there are 2 options when it comes to making a craft paper pad. You can either position each piece out individually, resizing as you go, rotating, trying to make sure everything's nicely spaced, which is an absolute pain. It'll take forever to make it look nice. Or you can do what I like to do, which is to create kind of an artboard. Now, Affinity Publisher doesn't technically have an artboard, but we can do something similar anyway. So instead of seeing this 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch page as a full page, we're going to look at it as a tile that we can use multiple times on one page. And they're much easier to set up. So we'll just arrange a couple of these items as we want them. Now it's a good idea to have some elements hanging over the edge of the page, because when the two images, like for example, I'll show you. So if we were to put this rabbit there, technically only this left hand side of the double page spread is going to be used as our tile. So this chap will be cut off there, so he'll have half a body. But what we'll do is we also duplicate it onto this side, so his top half here is over here. So when the tiles join together, you get this glorious whole rabbit there. Now there are a couple of ways you can do that. You can either position the first rabbit, then Control Shift and drag across to the other end, so it's directly opposite. And because I've got snapping on, and because I used it in the middle, now that's exactly in the middle, so as that, it snaps to position. Now that's not always the case, because you might want to have, say, just a small fraction. I'll turn my snapping down. And you might only want to have a small bit overlapping like that. Now because there's no guides or snapping for that point, I can't just copy and drag it down, because it'll just be pure guesswork trying to find out where the right point is. So what we'll do instead is we'll still copy it and paste it as normal, but then we'll come down to the transform app. And you have XY position. X is for horizontal, Y is for vertical. And because each page is 8.5 inches long, we need to add or subtract 8.5 inches from these two figures here. Obviously I want to move it down. So it's the Y variable, so it's the Y position that I'll be changing. And because I want the image to move down the page, I just need a plus 8.5. And there you go. It moves the copy exactly 8.5 inches away from the original, which just so happens to be the size of the page. Coincidence? Not really. So now I'm just going to continue dotting about these other little elements. The overhanging aspects just help give the seamless quality. Just help give a seamless quality to the tile and the pattern. Otherwise, without these overhanging aspects, it would just look like 4 or 6 or whatever, however many images stuck together on the same page. The overhanging elements provide some sort of continuity. So that's the tile sorted. I'm going to export this as a PNG, and then we're going to bring it back in. So now we're just going to drag the image back onto the page. I'm just going to shrink this down, keeping it in a square ratio, shrink it down to 1/4 of the size, and then just copy it out so it tiles like this. There you go. Instantly, you've got a lovely Easter pattern based on this. Now you can imagine how long it would take to arrange all of these little elements and size them correctly. We'll just do it once up here, and then we'll tile it as many times as we want. We can technically shrink it down as much as we want. So if you want more elements to your page, add more tiles. If you want less, add fewer tiles. Now the last thing to do to round this page off is to put a rectangle behind it. To act as a background colour. And there we go. That is one pattern for your Easter themed book. Now, you don't have to use this for your books. You can use it for any sort of backing medium. If you wanted to create a sort of a coloured Easter journal, you could add a line section here by simply, again, adding a rectangle there and adding a table in there to make lined pages. So you've got a nice bordered, colourful lined pad. You could put little supportive messages on there and have it as like an affirmation book. The repeating pattern is not just for craft paper pads, but that's where it's most profitable for me. So that's one pattern. Obviously, you want more than one pattern, so use the rest of these elements. Again, so that's only one rabbit and one flower. There's another 5 rabbits and 2 flowers. There's even more in that pack. So you can make as many patterns as you want. What I used to do was I would have 4 patterns and I would repeat them. So I'd have 4 identical patterns and then just repeat them over the course of the book. When I first started, it was just premium colour. That was the only option. It was expensive to print. So I only did 40 pages. So it was 10 copies of each pattern and a title page and a blank page behind the title page. So that was 42 pages. And that was expensive to print. Now, of course, they do standard printing. The plus side of that is that it's a lot cheaper. The downside is you need 72 pages. So 72 pages may seem like a lot, but all you've got to do is create 7 unique images and repeat those 10 times through the book. That's your 70 pages, and on your title page, that's 72. The other option is to have a blank page behind each pattern. That's what I used to do because it was the page was designed to be cut up. So I thought it's a waste of time having images on both sides. But you know, I have done books with images on both sides, and it seems more value for the customer, I suppose. Right, the important thing is about the pricing. So, if you were to print out in premium colour and do a 42 page book, it would cost you $4.36 to print out. Now, if you're charging $9.99 for a book, you're making a profit of $1.63. If you do standard colour, although you're practically doubling the page count, it works out a little bit cheaper. It works out with $4.02 to print out the book. So if you charge $9.99 for that, you're making $1.97. You're making roughly 15% more on the standard colour, even though you're making more patterns. When it comes to quality, difference between standard and premium, I've done books in them both, and there's not a massive difference, to be completely honest. I've done a few comparison videos on the channel, so have a look through those if you want. Or you search on YouTube, loads of people have. I don't think it's a massive difference. So you get away with using standard colour, I think. Make a 72 page book. Charge $9.99 for it, and you're getting yourself nearly $2 profit per book sold. So that's it for today's vid. Just to remind you, Creative Fabrica free trial ongoing. Click the link in the description, you get 10 free assets. And remember, I've made this with only 2 of them. I've got loads of other assets left from those 2 packs. I've got another 8 credits to use. Or, if this doesn't float your boat, just go straight into the KDP interiors. Download the ones you want. You can get 3,200 activity pages. You could make 3,200 page books out of that. And that's just 1 credit.